And finally, to complete the most significant news for this day, Y News continues. Here are the top stories. The Department of Health, or DOH, reports a significant decline in the number of firework-related injuries since it started monitoring on December 21, 2018. Data from the DOH show a 68% drop in the number of individuals who were injured due to firecracker use after it recorded only 139 cases from December 31st, January 2018 to January 1, 2019. This is a far cry from the 428 cases reported in the same period of last year. In the reported cases, 81% of the injured were males. Most of the injuries sustained were blasts or burns without amputation. With 102 cases reported, there have been 5 cases of blast with amputation, 36 cases of eye injury, and 2 cases of firework ingestion. The firecrackers that caused most injuries are quitis or skyrocket, piccolo, boga, and deuces. The DOH attributed the decline to the rainy weather and the executive order signed by President Rodrigo Duterte banning certain types of fireworks. Despite the significant drop, the DOH expects more cases to be reported as their monitoring continues. Meanwhile, 7 police officers are now facing administrative charges for illegally discharging their firearms over the holidays. According to the Philippine National Police, the unidentified 7 cops were among the 23 persons who were arrested for alleged indiscriminate firing during holiday festivities. Also arrested were a member of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, another law enforcement agent, 2 security guards, and 10 civilians. Meanwhile, authorities recorded 14 victims of indiscriminate firing, with 7 from Metro Manila, 1 from Cagayan Valley, 5 from Central Luzon, and 1 from Central Visayas. Despite this, the PNP chief says the holiday festivities have been generally peaceful this year. In other news, the Bureau of Fire Protection also reports a significant drop in the number of fire incidents as the country welcomed 2019. BFP says 6 incidents were recorded in Metro Manila and 1 in Ilocos. All cases were caused by problems in the electrical wiring system and none were firecracker-related. The BFP says the figure recorded this year is lower by more than 82% as compared to the same period in 2018, with 34 incidents reported. For the entire year, however, the agency recorded a total number of 16,215 fire cases, which was higher than 2017 with only 14,117. Meanwhile, air pollution due to firecrackers still recorded a significant amount, with 315 micrograms per normal cubic meters of particulate matter reported in Parañaque as of 3 a.m. of January 1st, 2019. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources says this is hazardous to human health because these are small particles that may penetrate the lungs if inhaled. DENR reiterates its call for the total banning of firecrackers to avoid air pollution.
Pag ma-inhale mo yung klaseng hangin na kasama yung concentration doon ay talagang maapektuhan ang baga and even yung sa heart mo.
The Philippine National Police is still verifying the signature imprinted into the improvised explosive device used in the bombing in South Seas Mall in Cotabato City on Monday. The PNP Special Investigation Task Group says the identification process has been difficult as no one or no group has claimed responsibility for the said incident. 2 people died and 34 others were injured in the blast that occurred in broad daylight when shoppers were busy ahead of the New Year celebration. It can be recalled that in August, authorities matched the signatures imprinted on the IED used in the Isulan bombing with the one recovered in the botched attack in Coronadal in Region 12. The IEDs were detonated using a cellular phone as triggering device, and the power source was identified to be a 9-volt battery. The container of both IEDs were also similar, a water pump barrel or a jetmatic. Nevertheless, the PNP is currently examining the videos captured on CCTVs in the area and the testimonies of the witnesses.
Nandun pa sa EOD, no, yung mga shrapnel at ibang sangkap ng IED na pumutok at sinusuri pa nila. And hopefully, for this following days, mapapalabas na ng EOD kung anong signature ng IED at doon din tayo makapag-conclude kung anong grupo ang nasa likod nito.
The number of fatalities due to the effects of Tropical Depression Usman has reached 75, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. Based on the latest data released, 16 others were reported to be missing, while around 45,000 families were affected by the storm that hit Bicol, Mimaropa, and Eastern Visayan region. The Department of Agriculture meanwhile reports that the damage left by Usman in its wake has reached 300 million pesos. Most damaged were the grains and high-value crops in the provinces of Quezon, Oriental Mindoro, Albay, Camarines Sur, Sorsogon, Catanduanes, and Masbate. A state of calamity has been declared in Sorsogon, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, and Albay, and the 8 towns in Oriental Mindoro. And more than 9 out of 10 Filipinos appear to be optimistic as they welcome the 2019, according to a survey conducted by the social weather stations. When asked if it is with hope or with fear that they enter the coming year, 92% said with hope, while 8% responded with fear. The SWS says that hope for the new year has always been high since the agency began the survey in 2019. Other than the SWS survey, some Filipinos also expressed optimism for the new year by posting messages of hope in their respective social media pages using the hashtag page 1of365. Malacanang, in a statement, also expressed optimism that 2019 will be an exciting year because of the accomplishments of the administration in the previous year. And for the news abroad, here's Kath Dumaraos live from Bangkok, Thailand. Kath, good evening.
Good evening, William. Russian rescuers continue to search for people trapped under the rubble of a city apartment block that partly collapsed in a suspected gas blast, killing at least 4 people. Russia's emergencies ministry says 4 people had been recovered alive from the 9-story building in Magnitogorsk, an industrial city some 1,700 kilometers east of Moscow in the southern Urals. The blast, probably caused by a gas leak, damaged 48 apartments. It dripped through the building at around 6 in the morning local time when many residents were asleep. Monday is a public holiday in Russia. A massive security operation is planned for the January 1, 2019 inauguration of Brazil's President-elect Jair Bolsonaro. A large number of security forces have been seen patrolling the streets of the capital, Brasilia, since Sunday. According to local media, far-right Bolsonaro's inauguration represents the largest security operation ever undertaken in Brasilia, with more than 3,200 individuals mobilized from the police and military. 12 heads of states are expected to attend the inauguration, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Security has been a heightened concern for Bolsonaro and his supporters ever since he was stabbed at a campaign rally in September. A pro-Turkish government TV channel shows a video of the transportation of purported remains of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Meanwhile, British police are keeping an open mind in the ongoing investigation on the stabbings at Manchester Victoria train station that left 3 people injured. June Garin tells us why.
In Turkey, a pro-government television channel has broadcast video showing men carrying suitcases purportedly containing the remains of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi into the residence of his country's Consul General in Istanbul. The footage broadcast by a news shows men carrying what it says were a total of 5 cases through the main entrance of the residence, a short distance from the consulate where Khashoggi was killed in early October. A Turkish official said the media report, also carried by the pro-government Sabah newspaper on its website, appeared to be accurate without giving further details. Saba said the cases had been brought to the residence in a black minibus. Khashoggi was a royal insider who became a critic of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and began writing for the Washington Post after moving to the United States last year. Saudi officials have rejected accusations that the Crown Prince ordered his death. The murder has sparked global outrage and damaged the international reputation of 33-year-old Prince, the kingdom's de facto leader. After offering numerous contradictory explanations regarding the fate of Khashoggi, Riyadh later said he had been killed and his body dismembered when negotiations to persuade him to return to Saudi Arabia failed. In the United Kingdom, British counter-terrorism police are investigating stabbings at Manchester Victoria train station on Monday night that left 3 people injured, including a police officer. A witness at the station described the attacker as wielding a large kitchen knife and who linked his actions to bombings in other countries. Police said, however, there was no intelligence suggesting a wider threat, adding that the subject had been detained. Police added that those injured were in a serious but not life-threatening condition. And in USA, Republican U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham said President Donald Trump reassured him about his plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria and his commitment to defeating Islamic State. During a White House meeting on Sunday, Graham said that he and Trump discussed about Syria and some strategies how to withdraw U.S. forces and achieving national security interests at the same time.
I think operations to completely destroy and decimate ISIS are going to be ongoing and are going to be accelerated. So the president assured me that he's going to make sure he gets the job done, and I assured him that nobody has done more to defeat ISIS than he has.
June Garin, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the news from the other parts of the globe. Back to you, William.
Thank you very much, Kath Dumaraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Tourists and residents in Moscow get to enjoy the view over Moskva River with the first cable car line opened in Luzhniki, Russia. Catherine Martinez tells us why.
Moscow's latest tour attraction, a cable car line over the Moskva River, has drew visitors of all ages when it opened at Luzhniki. The cable car line offers a bird's-eye view of the city's beautiful Vorobyo-Grigoryi district as passengers glide over the river, hills, and the nearby heavy vehicular traffic in Russia's capital. The newest form of transportation in Russia also offers quicker travel as the 20-minute drive between Vorobyo-Grigoryi and Luzhniki Stadium will become a 5-minute glide inside gondolas. Up to 1,600 people will be able to travel a 720 meters distance every hour inside the 8-person gondolas. So far, the cable car line has 35 gondolas available for use.
It's a very interesting and enjoyable place for family, friends, and have a good time here. Enjoy it!
Nakaka-tense pero masarap sa pakiramdam at enjoy talaga.
The Vorobyo-Grigoryi Luzhniki cable car line is open from 11 in the morning until 11 in the evening with one-way and return route rates ranging from 250 rubles to 400 rubles or 190 pesos up to 300 pesos payable with cash or regular Metro cards. Aside from sightseers, cyclists can also enjoy fasteners for their bicycles, while skiers and snowboarders will be offered a third exclusive line as ski lift. A second line allotted for the athletes is set to be opened on February 2019. Catherine Martinez, UNTV News and Rescue, Moscow, Russia.
The top 8 Wishcoveries of each camp in Wishcovery Season 2, the singer and the song face a new challenge. Leslie Longbowen tells us why.
The one-on-one showdowns of top 8 Wishcoveries of each camp of Wishcovery Season 2, The Singer and the Song, began Monday night. The 8 were divided into 4 groups and each pair will face one another in a vocal battle. The first to take on the challenge were two groups from Camp Rani Raimundo. The first group was composed of Wishcoveries Joan Lambino and Rando Manalus.
Wag na natin patagalin giliw ko. Doon naman patungo, di ba? Ba't ka ba nag-aalala?
Joan was eliminated.
Ko po kay Sir Rani, thank you po sa lahat ng mga tips na binigay niyo po sa akin at sa aming mga nakasali dito sa Wishcovery.
Lorraine de Guzman and Rydel Garcia battled next.
Kailangan ko ikaw sa buhay ko. Ikaw at ikaw lamang.
Rydel was not lucky enough to be chosen.
Masaya dahil nasatisfied naman ako sa performance ko and feeling ko naman binigay ko yung best ko. Yun, masaya pa din kahit hindi na pili.
Rando and Lorraine were the successful Wishcoveries to get the first two slots of Camp Rani's top 4.
I'm very, very proud. Napakasarap marinig yung kanta mo na ma-interpret, malagyan ng buhay at personalidad ng ibang tao, yung hindi ikaw.
The next Wishcoveries to battle against each other tonight are the singing hopefuls from the National Capital Region. Leslie Longboan, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
And those are the reasons behind the news January 1st, 2019. I am William Thio. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening, everyone.